There's another group of guys, chill, that
Yes,
are
sir.
being rumored to be on the move, um, and that is every single person on the Denver Nuggets roster, excluding Nikola Jokic.
Everybody.
All of them.
Everybody is available. Yep.
All of them. So everybody. They said
Well,
everybody can go besides Nikola Jokic. That's the rumor. Is
yep.
that possible? What do you think about that? Does that make sense to you? Let's.
Well, remember where we are, Ox. Like we just talked about with the Celtics. Like what's killing us? Well, what's killing us is the long ball, living and dying by the long ball. We ended up we got to change our style of play. I don't think Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are the reason for that. I think our style of play needs to change. I'd like to keep the long ball in our offense, but we got to do something different. The Denver Nuggets, what's been their Achilles heel over the last couple of years? Jamal Murray broke down. In addition to Jamal Murray breaking down, Ox, I know how you feel about Aaron Gordon because I feel equally as well how important he is to that group. Problem is that he's not held up these last 2 years. In fact, it's been if I'm being honest with you, I think it's been the reason why they've lost because he's their Swiss Army knife. He's their defender. He's their versatile defender on the wing. He's their guy. He's their OG Anunoby. He's their utility guy. He's the guy who, when something is needed, he's the one who does it. You need a go-ahead shot. You need a big rebound. You need a big bucket. He's that guy. But the problem is that his availability has been questionable. In fact, not only has it been questionable, he hasn't been available. So if I got Joker, who's still in the prime of his career, he's 31 years old. How many more years do I have of Joker at this level? Maybe 2 more. And I don't want to waste any of those years. So if I don't want to waste any of those years, I have to consider what I could get for Aaron Gordon because I might have gotten the best years out of Aaron Gordon. I might have gotten that already. That might already be over. You said to me, Ox, last season, or actually earlier this season, you was like, Aaron Gordon should have never went out there for Game 7 because that may have very well screwed him up. So with that being said, I'm now dealing with damaged goods because we already had a whole offseason of Aaron Gordon getting healthy. He came back this season, broke down again. So with him actually breaking down again, and I don't want to sound harsh when I say this, but yes, it may be time to move off of these guys to upgrade this roster because the very thing that we have that we can continue to win with, we can't waste it, and that's Joker. And we're wasting it now because Jamal Murray, by the way, is due. I think he on the books for $156 million over the next 3 years. So that's a lot of bread for a dude who broke down and underperformed in the playoffs. Jalen McDaniels had him boxed up. So in addition to Jaden McDaniels having him boxed up, he broke down 2 years ago. Aaron Gordon, who is not on the books for a lot of money, considering, but he is on the books for a pretty hefty salary. And then he broke down. I got maybe 2-3 more years left to Joker. And we're trying to win. We're trying to maximize who Joker, continue to maximize who Joker is. We're probably coming off of Valanciunas because he got played off the floor, which is unfortunate. But I do have to entertain any offer, not any offers. I'm not just going to hand him over for a bucket of extra crispy. But I do have to entertain offers for Aaron Gordon. Like I got to call around the league and I got to check to see who's interested, and I got to check other teams' temperatures to see how they feel about him. And Jamal Murray too. Yes. I have to do that. Yes, sir.
So this is another one of those situations where I don't like it. I don't like it, but what can we get? You know, if the return is worth it, if you can get good value,
Mm-hmm.
then I guess so. But I mean, it has to be like that. It has to be championship pieces. You can't trade and have Nikola Jokic on a team that we're building. You have to make a trade and get guys. Okay, let's go get it right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you have to.
And again, Ox, I know how you feel about Aaron Gordon because to be honest with you, I feel the same way about him. I think that for the Nuggets, in order for them to win, like he has to be available, and he doesn't have to be available sometime. And I need Aaron Gordon to be available all the time at 100%. And on top of that, Ox, he's getting old. I think he's 31. He's 30 or 31 years old.
Yeah,
and
about right. 31.
Yeah. And he still has some damn good years ahead of him. Hopefully, I mean, I think athletically, I mean, I still see him get above the rim. I still see him getting up and down the floor. The question is can he hold up? And when we get to the postseason, he's shown that he hasn't been able to hold up. So, big fella, what I need you to do is I need you to take your fan hat off for a second, and I need you to put your executive hat on for a second. And I know you hate that, right? I know you hate that. I need you to take your fan hat off and put your executive hat on for a second. And if the phone rings and somebody is calling about Aaron Gordon, I know you don't want to listen because I know how important he is. But if it makes sense, I got to at least listen to your offer of what you have and what you're willing to give me. And does it make sense in the short term? Because that's what that's really what I'm doing with Joker, Ox. If I'm being honest with you, I'm not doing Joker. I'm doing Joker a disservice if I'm getting young guys, to your point, where we're building around him for 3, 4, 5 years down the road. No. I got to maximize Joker right now. And I'm doing him a disservice if I only get 22-year-olds in here and 19 and 20-year-olds in here. No, that's not going to work. Not at all. Mm-mm.
Can Drew Holiday help the Nuggets? Does he still got something left in the tank?
If this was 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, I'd be all for this, Ox. But I think he's a little long in the tooth. Yeah, I think he's a little bit long in the tooth.
If we had more time in this segment, I would like to play around with it. Like, okay, we can send Aaron Gordon over here. We can send Jamal Murray over here. We can maybe keep Cam Johnson. We can, package Christian Brown and this guy and get him out of here.
Sure.
Yeah, man. So you got Nikola Jokic.
Yes, you do.
As long as you got that foundation,
yep,
you're good. You're good. You're going to be a good basketball team. So I don't think the Nuggets have too much to worry about. I just hope they don't just get too ahead of themselves. You know what I mean? Like, don't do too much.
I know what you're talking about.
I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they're that far away.
Like, we ain't got to empty the roster, is what you're saying.
Right.
Like, let's relax.
I'm telling you, the only thing they're missing was a hamstring from Aaron Gordon.
If he's healthy, I had them winning the NBA championship, Box.
Yeah, man.
I had them winning the NBA championship. So to your point, and Mad Max in the chat, because he consistently challenges my logic. Yeah, he consistently challenges my logic whenever I say something. No, like when anything ever comes out of my mouth, he's got something to say about whatever I say. So he says, for example, he says right now, the young guys are the ones who are winning. So with that being said, Wemby. I mean, this series, they're up 2-1. Wemby in the draft, Castle in the draft, right? This kid Bryant, who's a rotation guy. With that also being said, those guys were built together, right? Those guys were built together, but they do have vets like Fox, right? And the Knicks are not a young team, right? This Oklahoma City team has been together for how long now? When we're talking about young teams winning, this Oklahoma City team has been together for quite a long time. It would actually work, to your point, because again, Max wants to challenge my logic with everything that comes out of my mouth, so that's fine. It would actually work if Jokic was younger. We don't have that kind of timeline when it comes to Jokic, though. We don't have 3 or 4. We don't have 3, 4 years for these guys to turn into what they're turning into. Because you know what you're not getting? You're not getting Wemby. You're not getting Stephon Castle to come onto your crew. You're not getting that. Unfortunate. That's unfortunate, but you're not getting that. You do need win now players. That's the unfortunate part about that. So it would actually work if Joker was, I could get with this logic if Jokic was 28, maybe even 29. But Jokic is not a spring chicken anymore. Jokic is in the prime of his career, and we need on every level, we need on every level to stay viable, and we need to stay viable with win now players, not players who are going to be that in 3 years, not players who are going to be that in 4 years. No, we need guys who are going to be that right now.
Mm-hmm. I do think that you kind of cut the timeline a little short. I think Yoga's probably got maybe 4 or 5
at this level, Ox.
Close to it. I don't see why not. I don't.
That injury slowed him down this season, and it was noticeable. It was noticeable that injury slowed him down. So,
I mean, but it dropped him from like a god tier player to like a superstar. He still even after the injury, like even after the injury, Nikola Jokic was amazing. Like
Absolutely. He still was
I
awesome.
know,
I'm not gonna
you know,
argue that.
sometimes I play, I get that swiper troll a little bit. Nikola Jokic was still absolutely amazing when he came, like the second half of the season. He
Sure.
was still one of the top players in the NBA. He's never been a defensive stopper or really been worth much on defense anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that injury. He was damn near the same guy.
He still
Like,
was awesome. I'm not going to argue that. He
know.
just turned 31 this year, right? He'll be 30. He just turned 31 this year. He'll be 32 next year, right? So, I mean, I think that at this level, I'm not saying in his prime, Ox, because I think I got maybe I think I got 4 more prime years left of Joker, maybe 5. But peak Joker years, I think I got 2 tops.
Right.
I think I got 2 tops.
And I wasn't saying that to say like, oh, they should still just go get a bunch of young guys and they'll get back to the championship in 3 or 4 years. That's not what I'm saying. I'm
Sure.
just saying you can get some 27, 28-year-old guys and get them with Joker, and I think they still got a good chance at this thing for the next 3 or 4 seasons. I think Jokic is still going to be great for the next 4. He's 31. His game isn't dependent on, you know, being faster than the next guy or jumping higher than the next guy. It's really just being a big body and having a high skill set. So I think
Joker takes pretty good care of himself too, Ox. Let's not leave that out. Like a lot of people look at Joker and you know he's flabby. I mean, just so you know, everybody ain't built like David Robinson. That's just not the way that works. No,
but I don't think Jokic has really been flabby for a long time. Like he looks like he slimmed down a bit to me over the past few seasons, and you know, I think he moves fine for
the year that they won
guys
NBA
his size.
championship. Ox, he dropped 35 pounds that summer. The year that they won the championship in 23, and in the summer of 22, going into the 22-23 season, he dropped 35 pounds, and it was one of the best. Seasons that he had ever had. So, I mean, yes, people have a tendency to look at players and immediately think, you know, because I'm not put together like, you know, David Robinson or Giannis or something like that, that this guy is not in tip top. Jokic is in fantastic shape. Jokic isn't in good shape. He's in fantastic shape. So we clear. Great shape.
Even though like like Sniper was saying yesterday about Paul Pierce, you know, he doesn't have any muscle definition. Like you don't got you don't got to be a big buff guy. You know what I'm saying, to be a good basketball player.
Bird wasn't like that.
Oh, absolutely.
It's the panel. Religion get built on cam. Where the check throw smoke and the hoes go ham. You ain't never seen hoops out here did raw. Every take got weight, every night we drop. This that barbershop. Courtside, worldwide tone. Welcome to the only show that really feel like numbers jumping like the score.